My name is Meghan Fahey, and I am excited to be teaching you some of the classic crochet stitches today to get you started on your crochet journey. So a lot of people in the chat with me live right now are telling me that they are total beginners, have never tried this before. We have a handful of people who have done it before, so I can't wait to see what kind of progress we can make today. I do want everybody to really give yourself a lot of time and grace with this, because if crocheting was easy, you would already know how to do it. So it's not super easy, but we're going to break it down as best we can into easier steps. So there's lots of information that goes along with this class, and we're going to keep putting it into the chat for you. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, there'll be some downloads available as well. So I have some of the basic stitches. If you want to do a picture version that has pictures and words to show you how to do things like making a slip knot and doing some chain stitches and doing single crochets and double crochets, we're going to have that paper available for you. It's attached to this class, and it will be on the YouTube channel also. And because there are so many of you here today, I'm so glad that this is a live class and so many of you have joined us. We're going to try and get this video up as soon as possible. We usually get it up the next day, but we're actually going to work and try and get it up later today, so that if you're really in the mood and you just missed something, or you're just going a little bit slower than I might be going or something like that, you can try and catch up while you're in the spirit and while you're still ready to crochet. So there is a pattern today, and that pattern is a PDF also. It's a handwritten pattern, something that I made up. I have not been a crocheter for very long. So this is something that a long time ago, my mom taught me how to do some slip stitches and taught me how to hold my crochet hooks and things like that. But I really didn't know a lot of these more advanced stitches, or how to read a pattern and things like that until just this year, honestly. So I've been kind of restarting my crochet journey this year, and I've been learning how to do all the different stitches, and have also been doing some of the amigurumi and just really playing with things. So today we're going to do granny squares, and then later on, I think there's a future class where if you can make 8 granny squares, I can show you how to put them together in order to make a really cute granny square bag. Along those same lines, this is another work in progress I have right now, where if you just make 2 giant granny squares, then you can also kind of make a handle for this one, and you can make this into a bag. So granny squares, you have probably seen, are popping up everywhere in pop culture and just in regular life. So granny squares are definitely making a comeback if they ever went away. So I am happy to show you how to do this. And let's go ahead and switch over and talk about yarn. So I'm going to switch to the other camera, and I'm going to show you that on every skein of yarn, there is a number, and there's also a suggested hook size. So the yarn that I'm going to be using in class today might be a soft classic from Loops and Threads. I also have some Impeccable is another great yarn from Loops and Threads. So these are all that same weight of about 4, which is the medium. I'm going to be using medium, but you can use whatever size you want to, whatever size you have access to. Granny squares are great for using up scraps because they don't take a lot of yarn and you can keep switching colors. So once you have the size of yarn you want to use, this says to use a USI hook, and I'm actually going to be using a J hook. So the higher the letter, the larger the hook. And I'm going to be going up a grade to the J because I want to make my stitches a little bit bigger in order to be able to see those. So this pattern I'm going to keep showing on the screen here. It also is a PDF that Nicole put into the chat. And this pattern will also be available on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, which is 4M Coleman, and also Learn with Michaels. So you can go to either one of those Instagrams in order to kind of come up with this pattern. But we are going to do some basics before we get into the pattern. And the first basic thing you're going to need to know how to do is how to make a slip knot. So there are lots of ways to make slip knots, and the way I'm about to show you is just one. So if you already know how to make slip knots, you are set. But here is one way that I like to make slip knots. So I have the tail, which is the side that's cut. And then I have the skein over here, and the yarn that's going towards the skein is called the working yarn. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to point some fingers towards myself, and I'm going to drape this yarn over the fingers I have pointing towards myself. And notice how my tail is on the right hand side and the working yarn is on the left hand side. And I'm pointing this finger towards myself. The goal of a slip knot is for me to get these two yarns to cross over top of each other. Right now they're separate, but when I twist my finger backwards, like away from me, I've crossed those on top of each other. And then I'm going to be able to put my fingers through and grab the working yarn and pull that working yarn through. And when I pull on the loop and when I pull on the tail in the working yarn, I create what's called a slip knot. And the slip knot literally slips up and down. So I will go back and show that again. If you have questions as we go, please let me know in chat. And the slip knot is the first thing you're going to need in order to create a granny square. So I have a finger towards me. I've draped it so that the tail is on the right-hand side and the working yarn is on the left-hand side. I'm holding with my left hand, I'm holding both of these. And then I'm going to take this finger and I'm going to move it counterclockwise. I'm using my wrist and kind of turning. And then I'm going to be able to grab, put my pincher finger in there, grab the working yarn and pull it through in order to create that slip knot. And that slip knot goes onto your hook and it can tighten to actually fit onto your hook. So this bigger loop, when you pull on it, can tighten up. The next thing you want to know in order to get yourself going with crocheting is how to hold the hook. And honestly, this can be a place where people can get stopped and have a hard time moving forward. So if this is something that you're struggling with, it's something you can keep practicing. And then you can always come back and watch this video again when you've gotten that part under control and you're ready to move to the next section. So the way that I hold the hook is there's this I use as a thumb pad. So can you guys hear me okay? Can everybody else hear okay? Yeah, okay.
We can hear you good.
So maybe check your volume settings. So I'm going to hold this thumb onto the thumb pad. You'll also see me holding on to this tail with the rest of my fingers. And then here's what I'm going to do over here. On my left hand, I'm going to wrap the yarn over my pinky, under my ring, over my middle, and around my pointer. Now, what I just did was I created what I call tension fingers. So if you can think about a sewing machine, how you sew it, you take the thread and put it through all those different levels, it's causing tension. If I open my fingers, I can pull this really fast and really easily through my fingers. But if I close my fingers up, it's harder for me to pull this yarn through. So this is creating what we call tension. And I'm going to show you how to do this again. So I'm putting it over my pinky, under my ring, over my middle, and around my pointer. So I have these set up to kind of give some tension. And then you'll see that I like to keep this pointer finger kind of up in the air. And what I'm doing by keeping that pointer finger up in the air is I'm keeping some tension right here. So holding onto the hook and holding onto your yarn, honestly, is one of the hardest parts to get used to because it's kind of weird. So give yourself some patience and see if you can keep trying that. And eventually it will get more and more comfortable. So now I have in my left hand, my left thumb is holding on to my slip knot, and I'm kind of keeping the slip knot in place so that it doesn't move up and down my hook. I'm going to use my right hand. I'm going to put my thumb on the thumb pad. And what I'm going to do in order to make a chain stitch is I'm going to go over the top and under the yarn. And then I'm going to use this left hand to kind of pinch this slip knot away from my hook, give it a little bit of space. And I'm going to let the hook do its job, which is to grab that yarn and it's going to grab that yarn and pull it through that loop. I'll definitely show this again. So in order to make a chain stitch, I'm holding on with my left hand. I'm keeping the slip knot right up next to my hook. I have my thumb on the thumb pad. My hook is to the right of my tension yarn that I'm holding up with this finger. I'm going to go over the yarn and under the yarn to grab it with the hook. So the hook's job is to pull this yarn somewhere. I have it hooked. And where you're going to pull it is through this loop that's on your crochet hook. So you're going to either pull the loop up or think about pulling the hook down in order to get through that. So over, under, you hook it, pull with your pincher fingers, and pull that through. So right now we're just practicing what's called a chain stitch. I'm going over, under, grabbing the yarn with my hook, pulling it through, over, under, grabbing some yarn and pulling it through, pulling it through, and then I'm creating what's called a chain stitch. So this chain stitch is made up of these V shapes, and each one of those V's is going to create a chain or a stitch. And we're eventually going to start our granny squares with 4 chains. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start with my slip knot. So here I go. I'm holding on, twisting, putting my fingers through, grabbing the working yarn and pulling through. I'm putting my slip knot over my hook. And now I'm about to start my granny square with 4 chains. So I go over pinky, under ring, over and around my pointer to get some tension. I'm holding my slip knot right up against my hook. I'm going to take my right hand thumb and I'm going to put my hook over the yarn and under the yarn to grab it, and pinchers to pull through. That's 1. Here's the second chain, 2. Here's the third chain, 3. And here's the 4th chain, 4. So now we have a chain of 4 and we're ready to get started with our granny square. So in the pattern, we have the PDF that you can look at, or you can look on Instagram. And after we have the slip knot and we have chained 4, now we're going to join these 4 stitches together to make a circle. And what we're trying to do is on our first round, we're going to make a circle that we put a bunch of stitches in to kind of build up that first clover. If I like to think about it as like a clover on a granny square. So we're going to have a chain of 4. We're going to do some double crochets coming out of those. Then we're going to do another round of double crochets to give it that square. And then really that's all you keep doing. And you can keep doing the same pattern over and over and over again with lots of different colors and just keep building out using the same stitch. So once we get through this first part with the circle, that's a little bit more challenging, and then we learn how to double crochet, those are the 2 things that you're going to need in order to make your granny squares. So I'm making a circle. I'm about to join these together to form a circle. And the way that you join is a slip stitch. So I go to the very first chain and I put my hook through the chain. So I kind of split the stitch by putting my hook in the middle of the stitch. And then I right now have 2 loops that are on my hook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hold on to everything with my left hand, and I'm going to grab some of the yarn with my hook, and I'm going to pull through both of those loops in order to join this together and make a circle. Now, especially if you're first starting, this can be a little bit tricky because you've just taken 4 chains together and you put them together, and there is a little bit of space, maybe you can see it on my white paper, that makes this a circle. So I'm kind of pulling it apart on purpose so that you can see. Here's the 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and there is a circle in the middle of it. And we're going to be building stitches into this circle, and they're going to kind of starburst out of this circle in order to create that first inner clover. So now that we have our circle, we're going to learn a new stitch called the double crochet. So I put my tension fingers, and in order to double crochet, you're going to yarn over. So yarning over is basically what we were doing with our chain stitching when we were going over, under, and grabbing some yarn. So I yarned over, and now look at me using my pointer finger. I'm going to hold the yarn against my hook on my pointer finger, and I'm going to turn the hook to go into the circle. So I'm holding on to it with my left hand, kind of keeping that circle open. And I'm going to grab some more yarn, use the hook to grab yarn. And this first pass, I'm going to take the chain off. Then I'm going to yarn over. And this next pass, I'm going to take these 2 loops in the middle off. And I'll show this part again. So I'm taking just the 2 middle loops off. And then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to take the bottom 2 chains off. That was a double crochet. So that whole stitch right there, all those steps make up one double crochet. So I'm going to go back, and from my circle, I'm going to chain 3. And in crochet patterns, chaining 3 is the same height as a double crochet stitch. So when you're starting a new round and you kind of need some height to start your next round, you're going to use these 3 chain stitches. So right now, the recording won't necessarily be sent, but it will be up on YouTube probably before the end of today. So if you need to see this, I understand, because it's hard to learn right off the top. So it looks like somebody's saying this dark yarn might not be working very well. So I am going to switch for this next part to orange. And hopefully you can tell me if that makes you able to see it a little better. So I'm quickly going to go through some stuff. Thanks for letting me know in the chat. And I know if some of you are getting lost, it is okay. Be patient with yourself. It takes time. I'm about to chain my 4 just to get myself started again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I join by going through this original first stitch with my hook. I think you can see this orange a lot better. I have 2 loops on here, and my slip stitch is going to be to grab some yarn with my hook and pull it through those 2 stitches, and I've made my circle. So I'm at my circle, and I showed you how to make a double crochet, but now I'm going to go back to our pattern, and I'm going to chain 3 first before I make our double crochet. So in order to chain 3, I go over, under 1, over, under 2, over, under 3, and that gives me that height coming out from the circle. And I'm going to over exaggerate my circle by putting my finger through right here. And here comes our first double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to hold on with my pointer finger, and I'm going to take the hook through the circle. And right now I have the chains from the circle, and I have these 2 at the bottom, and I have this yarn at the top. So I'm going to take this yarn with the hook, and I'm going to go through this part that's the circle. So it was the chunkier chain that made that circle. Right now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to grab some yarn, and this time I'm going to pull to take off the middle 2. Now I have 2. I'm going to grab some yarn and pull to take off the bottom 2. So right now I have a chain of 3, and I have a double crochet, and I'm about to add 1 more double crochet, and that completes the first of our 4 chunks that make up this base clover. So with left hands, I sometimes do a method where I use 2 hands, and that might be good for left-handers. So when I do it with 2 hands, I'm trying to think how I hold on to everything with my left hand. And so if I'm about to do a double crochet, I use my right hand to wrap the yarn, and then you would stick the yarn through the then you would wrap the yarn, take off that chain, wrap the yarn, take off the middle two, and wrap the yarn and take off the bottom two. So that was me kind of using more of a dominant left hand, but you can do it either way. So if you're struggling with these tension fingers over here, you can always try and switch over to that method too. So now that I have my chain of 3 and I have 2 double crochets, I'm going to chain 2. And what I'm doing by chaining 2 is I'm making a little space for a corner before I start doing 3 more double crochets. So if you're super, super lost, we are going to post this as soon as we possibly can. There's some tips and some guides with pictures that might be able to help you that come along with this class also. And always, you can feel free to just kind of lay back and watch and kind of absorb as much as you can. And then you might be able to grab some yarn and try it again when you see the video, and you can actually rewind and stop and make sure that you go back and see everything. We will definitely need the replay later. You are absolutely correct. So I have finished the chain 3 and 2 double crochets. And in my pattern next, I'm going to go to a chain 2. I'm going to do, here's where I left off, over, under, grab some yarn, pull it through, chain 1, over, under, grab some yarn, chain 2. And now I'm going to do 4 more, or not 4, I'm going to do 3 more double crochets into the circle. Yeah, we'll see how far we can get in this hour. Remember that this is very, this is beginner, and this is not an easy craft to do. So you're already tackling something that most people aren't even willing to try. So thank you for trying. So now I'm about to do 3 double crochets into the same circle that I already put 3 into. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to hold with my pointer finger, and I'm going to go into the circle. I'm going to grab this yarn and pull it through the chain. I'm going to grab some yarn and pull it through the middle 2, and grab some yarn and pull it through the bottom 2. And so I've just created a double crochet. Now I'm going to do another double crochet. So I yarn over, hold with my pointer finger, and go into the circle. Grab some yarn with your hook and take the chain off. Grab some yarn, take the middle 2 off, and grab some yarn and take the bottom 2 off. So that's 2 double crochets. Now I'm going to do the 3rd double crochet. So I yarn over. I use my pointer to put the hook through the circle. I yarned over to grab some of that yarn with the hook and pull the circle off. Yarn over, pull the middle 2 off. Yarn over, pull the bottom 2 off. And so now I've done 3 more double crochets. So you can already kind of start to see this like clover shape that's happening right here, where you have clusters of double crochets. I know that it's hard to catch on, especially if you come to the class a little bit late. So just do your best to watch what you can, and then we will get this video to you as quickly as you can on YouTube. As quickly as we can on YouTube. So we're making these clusters. We've just made 1 cluster here and 1 cluster here. We're about to make 2 more clusters to fill up this first clover. Finding the circle is really hard, so really use your thumbs to kind of pull that apart to be able to find that circle. If you have what we call stitch markers, I don't think I have any with me right now, but you can always put a stitch marker in the circle to kind of remind you where the circle is. Can you point on the new one? I can't see the circle where you put the hook through. Can you angle it differently? Sure. And can you point on the new one? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So here are, I've just finished this cluster. So in between the clusters, I do a chain of 2. So here's my chain of 2. Grab some yarn, pull it through, grab some yarn, pull it through. Okay. And then here is my circle. So can you point on the new one? I think you mean here. It does definitely take time. So here are your 3 double crochets. I've chained 2, and now I'm going to do, hold on to with my pointer, I'm going into the circle. Trying to give you as many different angles as I can. So I've yarned over, I'm holding it onto with my pointer, and I'm going head first into the circle, grabbing some yarn and pulling it through, grabbing some yarn, pulling the middle 2, grabbing some yarn and pulling the bottom 2. So that's 1 double crochet, and we're going to do 3. So I'm going to yarn over, hold on to it, head first into the circle, grab some yarn, pull it through the circle, grab some yarn, pull the middle 2, grab some yarn, pull the bottom 2. That's 2 double crochets. Getting the double, yeah. And then I'm going to yarn over, hold on to it, head first into the circle, grab some yarn, pull it through the circle, yarn over, middle 2, yarn over, bottom 2. So now you might be able to tell that we have 3 of our clusters, and we're going to fit 1 more. You might also notice that on this ring, on this circle, you can kind of smush your stitches together so that you can fit them. So if you're starting to run out of space and you don't know where on your circle, try actually literally moving your stitches and scrunching them together so that you have plenty of room on the ring. Here comes the last cluster. So I yarned over, holding on to it with my pointer, going head first into the circle, grabbing yarn, coming out, grabbing yarn, middle 2, grabbing yarn, bottom 2. That's 1. Did I chain? I don't think I chained in between. I just took that out because I noticed that I didn't make a corner. And the way that you make that corner is by chaining 2. You need to give yourself a little bit more space before you do your next cluster, so it makes that nice square corner. So I forgot to do my chain 2. So here's 1 chain and 2 chains. And now I'm going to put a double crochet into this circle. So I'm going to yarn over, hold on with my pointer, go in the circle, grab some yarn, take it off, grab some yarn, middle 2, grab some yarn, bottom 2. That's 1 double crochet. I'm going to do it again. In the circle, grab the yarn, grab yarn, middle 2, grab yarn, bottom 2, and 1 more. Yarn over, in the circle, grab some yarn, through the circle, grab some yarn. You might also notice that I'm twisting my hook, and the way I'm twisting my hook is to kind of keep that yarn and keep it in place and keep it hooked on the hook, taking off the middle 2, yarning over, taking off the bottom 2. So here are my 4 clusters of double crochets. And to finish this up, I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to join it together with a slip stitch to make that first innermost square. So I'm going to chain 2. And then for a slip stitch, I'm going to go and count up the first piece where I have 1, 2, 3 stitches that I first made. In the 3rd stitch, I'm going to put the hook through that 3rd stitch and put it onto my hook. Here we go. Put it on there. And then I'm going to take this yarn and I'm going to take both of those off, and that's a slip stitch. Please point to the 3 sets on your new one. If you make too many 3 stitches, can you make, yeah. So at the very beginning, when we started, we chained 4 to make a circle. And then the next thing that we did was we did a chain 3, and that chain 3 started this round, and it counts as a double crochet because it's the same height as a double crochet. So here's a chain 3, and then we did 1, 2 more double crochets to get a cluster of 3 that are the same height. Then we chain 2 in order to give us this corner space. We did 3 double crochets, we chained 2 to give us this next corner space. We double crocheted 3 times and chained 2 to give us this next corner space. And we did the last set, and then we chained 2 and we join them together by going through this stitch, putting your hook through, and yarning over and taking off both loops in order to create a slip stitch, which joins it. So now I'm going to pull this further away, and I'm going to find a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut a little tail. So this is where I ended up. I'm going to take the tail and I'm going to go through this loop, and I'm going to pull on the tail to close that up into a knot. And this is the inner part of my granny square. And we're going to build into the next corners. And we're going to build this next round by putting 2 clusters in each one of the 4 corners is what we're going to do on this next round. So we're going to put 2 clusters of 3 in the corner to make like a new corner, then go over here and make 2 clusters, 2 clusters, 2 clusters, and that's going to keep building out that square pattern. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you how to change colors. If you want to keep using the same color, you're of course welcome to, but if you would like to switch, now's a good time to switch. And switching colors is actually not as difficult as you might think it's going to be. So we'll see if you can see this yellow okay. Let me know if this yellow is hard to see and I'll try and switch to another color. So there are handouts to catch up on if you've joined late, so we'll keep putting those in the chat. Thank you to those of you who are trying and following along with me. I know that this is hard to follow along live, so we definitely will get this YouTube video to you as soon as possible for you to be able to watch this again and slow it down at your own pace. So when you make the clusters, it can turn into a handbag. Yes. So someone in the chat was asking about handbags and granny squares for bandanas. So I just made this with you right now. We're about to add this white layer. If you just keep adding layers, you can make ginormous granny squares. And then I can show you later how to put 2 of them together to make a bag. Or if you want to make smaller granny squares, if you grab 8 of them, you can have 4 on the front and 4 on the back. And then I can show you how to join them and we can turn them into a little bag that way too. So we are ready to start changing colors. So when you change color, I'm putting my hook through one of the corners. You should be able to see 4 Swiss cheese corners. I'm going to put the hook through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop with my new color. And I'm going to pull that loop through. So I've put my hook through. I grabbed it with some yarn over here. I'm pulling it through. And then the next part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain. And you can chain with both of these yarns, the tail and the working yarn. And that's all you need to do to add that color. So I'm going to show you that again. So I'm putting my hook through the corner. I am grabbing some yarn. I'm pulling that yarn through. And then in order to secure that yarn, all you need to do is wrap the yarn around and basically make a chain with it. And that has connected your new color into the corner. And that's what you need. Okay, now I'm going to do, in this corner, I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets to start the corner. So I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to start a double crochet. I'm holding on with my pointer through the corner, grab the yarn, and I'm kind of twisting it to grab it, pull it through the corner, grab some yarn, middle 2, grab some yarn, bottom 2. So that is a double crochet. And I want 1 more double crochet. So I'm grabbing some yarn into the corner, grabbing some yarn, middle 2, grabbing some yarn, bottom 2. And I've made my first cluster in the corner. Now, once you've made your first cluster in the corner, you need to separate the 2 clusters that go into each corner using 2 chains. So I did a chain 3 right here. to get me started, and it counts as the same as a double crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets coming out over here. So these are the 3 double crochets because I'm making a new corner. So here I go. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now I'm going to double crochet into the same corner. And like I was showing you before with the circle, if you need more space, what's nice is that these stitches can kind of squish down. So you can kind of pull on this in order to squish your stitches down and have plenty of room for you to put the next 3 stitches. So I'm holding on to this and putting it into the corner, grabbing some yarn, pulling it out, putting more yarn, grabbing more yarn, middle 2, grabbing yarn, bottom 2, 1 double crochet. Here comes the second double crochet. And here comes the third double crochet. So now I have completed one of these corners. And again, showing you what we're building up to. You're going to put 2 clusters into each one of these corners in order to create the next size square. So you do not need to chain 2 before you go to the next corner. So after you have done your chain 2 and you made 3 more double crochets, which we just did, that creates this new corner up here. And then we're going to go straight into the next corner with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And that's going to give us the next corner. So I'm yarning over, putting it into the new corner, grabbing some yarn, pulling the corner off, grabbing yarn, middle 2, grabbing yarn, bottom 2. That's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. So I've just made the first cluster in the next corner. And in order to separate the clusters, I need to chain 2 before I start the next cluster in that same corner. So 1, 2. I think Josie might be asking if there's a front back. I think you mean a front and back to the square. If that's what you mean, let me know, but there is not necessarily, okay, thank you. There's not necessarily a front or a back. You can use either way and it's going to end up looking the same. So I would say no. So I have chained 2 and now I'm about to make the next 3 double crochets into the same corner. So I'm yarning over into the corner, grabbing yarn, yarning over middle 2, yarning over bottom 2, and that's 1 double crochet. Here's 2 double crochets, and I need 1 more in this corner. There we go. So now I've just made this next corner using 2 clusters and chaining 2 in between them to kind of give that granny square look, that classic hole in the granny square. And then I'm going to go straight to the next corner. I'm not doing any chains. I'm going straight into the next corner with a double crochet. I know I'm starting to pick up speed now, so let me know if I'm going too fast. Some of you I know are still stuck with the tension fingers. That's a hard thing to overcome. It's going to take some practice. And also getting used to the double crochet can be rough. So I'm holding on to this, going into the corner, grabbing my yarn, and making my 3rd double crochet. To separate the cluster, I need to chain 2. And then I need to do 3 more double crochets into this next, into that same corner. I know it can be really tough watching me do this so quickly when you are still struggling, still learning how to do it. So we're going to get this video to you as soon as we can, and then you can really slow it down and take your time with it. But do give yourself some patience because this is not an easy skill to learn. So I've completed this corner and I'm going to my last corner. And I'm going to double crochet straight into that last corner. And I'm going to make my cluster of 3. So here's 1, 2, 3, I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do my next cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I grabbed that tail. There we go. And now I have 2 clusters in this corner separated by my chain of 2, and I need to join these together. And when you join them together, you just put your hook through about 3 chains up. So right around here, I'm going to stick my hook, split that stitch with my hook. Oops, I didn't quite split it. There we go. And then I'm going to yarn over, and to do a slip stitch, I'm just taking these bottom 2 off right away. And that has joined me together. So I'm going to pull this a little bit further up, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this tail and put this tail through and pull this nice and tight, and that's going to make a knot. Okay. So now I'm about to, so Ronnie, this will answer your question. I'm about to change colors again to go to my next round so you can kind of see this. And even if you're behind, you can probably still catch on, because right now we have officially learned everything we need to know to just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and building out as big as you'd like to build out. So the next thing we're going to do, and what's kind of the final step of this, is once I have this inner cluster done, and then I add these corner clusters for the next round. The only difference in the round I'm about to do compared to anything else I've done is that we now have, besides the 4 corners, we also have another space up here at the top. And so we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space, and we're going to put the 2 clusters of 3 double crochets into each corner. So the only difference right now from anything else we've done is that we have these spaces on the sides, not just the corners. So we're going to add 3 crochets in there, 3 double crochets. And again, like then when you go further and further out, you're going to have even more spaces. So you're going to do clusters of 3, clusters of 3. Here's your corner. Clusters, clusters, here's your corner, cluster, cluster, here's your corner, and you keep building out. And each time you go out, you're going to have to add more clusters of those 3 double crochets to fill in the spaces on the sides. But that's going to help you continue to have a really cool shape. So I'm hoping it's okay at this point to switch back to my blue yarn. If that is going to cause distress, please let me know. We'll see what we can do. I guess I can change to red. No, it's not my favorite. I'm sorry, I'm picky. Okay, so here we go. I'm changing colors, and this was a question in the chat about how to change colors. So the way you change colors is by going to one of the new corners, sticking your hook through the corner, and then you have the yarn over here that you're just grabbing. I'm holding on to the yarn with my left hand, and I'm going to pull that yarn through like this. And then in order to just make this connect it to each other, we're slip stitching, which means I'm just grabbing these 2 pieces of yarn right here, and I'm pulling them through that initial hoop. And that's all that you need it to do in order to change that color. And you can move this around. I just slid that stitch down a little bit. So, yay, she did the circle. Okay, I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. If you don't change color, I probably would still knot off and then just start exactly in the same way. I'm sure there's a way to do it where you don't ever cut your yarn. I'm not familiar with that right now. I'm kind of a newbie myself, so bear with me. Okay, so I've chained 3, and then I'm going to do the clusters. So I'm going to do a double crochet, and another double crochet. And this makes a cluster of 3. And every time we're in the corner, we're always going to have a cluster of 3. We're going to do chain 2, and then we're going to do another cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that's created our next corner. And we have that little space in our corner because of our chain 2, separating the 2 clusters. Now, again, the only difference is that this time we have the space before we jump over to the other corner. So in the space, you don't need to chain or anything. You just directly need to go a double crochet into the space. Grab your yarn. And then I'm going to double crochet 3 double crochets into that same space. Oops. There we go. And here comes my third one. There we go. So we have these over here that are kind of creating that rounded corner. We have these that are building up that side. And now we're going to go into this next corner and we're going to do our clusters. And we're going to have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets to make this corner over here. So the only difference in this round is that we have these middle spaces where we're going to add those clusters of double crochets. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets into this next corner, 2 sets of clusters. Here's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to chain 2 in order to separate the cluster. And then I'm going to do the next cluster, which is going to be of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go to this side part right here, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets into this side. There we go. 3 double crochets into that side. That's 2, and that's 3. And you can tell I'm really kind of just ignoring this tail because once I'm done with this, I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends, which is everyone's least favorite part of crocheting and knitting, I'm sure. So we've just completed that cluster in the side, and we need to go to the cluster in the next corner. So 3 double crochets. I know. Someone in the chat said at this point they're watching. I totally get that. And hey, let it be relaxing instead of stressful. Just watch, kind of calming if it's not you trying to do it. So it can be really calming to watch, although it might not be calming to try every time. So you have 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets again. So learning how to crochet in 1 hour is probably not a thing. So if you are anywhere close to picking up any of the skills I've shown you so far today and you're a brand new beginner, you are above the curve. You are doing very well. If you've learned how to do a slip knot, congratulations. If you've learned how to do a chain stitch, congratulations. And if you've even mastered a double crochet, you are on your way to a lot of crochet patterns. So you have taught yourself a lot in one day. So keep that in mind. Here's the side cluster of 3, 2, 3. And I'm hoping that those PDFs with those pictures are going to help give you another shot at this when you have some more time and some more patience with yourself to really go back and try and do it. Here we go. And I'm trying to finish up this square for you before we run out of time so that I can show you how to weave in the ends. So I just made a cluster of 2. The more she added, the better it looks. I agree with that. At the beginning, you're like, what am I even making? It's rough. Okay, here we go, in and a double crochet. Now I'm cooking with gas, so I'm sorry that I'm going fast, but I want to finish this square for you in this 1 hour time we have. So that's my next cluster of 3. And you can tell that I just have this one last cluster before I'm going to keep joining it up and finishing that square for the granny. Here's 1, 2, oops, 2, and 3. Okay, now that I have officially finished, I'm about to join. And the way that you join is you go up to the 3rd stitch in that first part where you started, and you put your hook through, and then you are going to yarn over, grab both of those loops that you have down here, and pull it over. There we go. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of a tail. I'm going to stick the tail through this loop, and I'm going to pull it in order to create that final knot. Now, like I said, comes the part that nobody really likes, but is very necessary, is called weaving in the ends. So for weaving in the ends, you have all these tails that are laying about. And sometimes I like to take a hook that's a little bit smaller than the hook that I've been using. So I'm going to go to my little hook case. I love this pencil bag that I have, pencil case that I have officially turned into a little crochet thing. And I'm going to take a smaller hook than I had before. And you don't have to do it this way. This is just one way. And when you're trying to hide these tails, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go in these center stitches. And I'm going to kind of weasel my hook in there. And I'm going to grab the yarn on the hook. And I'm going to pull this smaller hook back through. And I'm kind of tucking and hiding that yarn behind some of my other stitches. And you're kind of giving yourself a little bit more security. So I might hide it through a couple more stitches over here. And then after you've kind of hidden it through a couple and you feel pretty good about it, you can cut it down. And that's how you can finish off that particular piece. And then you might take another one of these pieces that are kind of hanging out. And I'm going to go through some of these bottom stitches with my hook. And I'm going to grab this yarn and I am going to pull the yarn through those stitches. I'm going to go through these ones and I'm going to grab that yarn and pull it through. And since it's nice and secured through that whole corner, I know that it's okay for me to cut this down. And you can keep going like that and weave in all these ends. Now, if something's peeking out like right over here, I can always fix that by kind of pulling and just making that knot come onto the other side of those stitches. And that's how I'm going to keep going in order to create something beautiful. So you can keep building up lots and lots of layers. And I am so glad that you've joined us. Thank you for sticking around this whole time. I hope that you try again when we see the YouTube video pop up. And I can't wait to join you in another crochet adventure. Make some granny squares and let's meet back and make a bag together in a couple weeks. So keep practicing and I will see you soon. Thanks for coming today.